Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Twin Flame Collective reading. Today, I will be doing a reading from the Divine Feminine's perspective, Divine Masculine, and then the energy within the connection. And we'll also be doing a few oracle cards as well. So the big thing that's going on right now is the Lionsgate portal, and that is going to be reaching its peak on Tuesday, which is August 8th, and then it will be closing by the 12th. So this is a great time to work on manifesting and to really work on setting your intentions and being clear about what is it that you are asking the universe for. What is it that you're wanting help with? So the important thing is to kind of get that clear thought, that clear idea and message, and put that out into the universe. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what comes up for our Divine Feminines. All right. So here we go. In the push from the universe, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. You're showing up as the Seven of Swords in the 3D. In the soul space, we have the Justice card. And then the challenge is the Sun. Five of Cups in reverse as your advice from Spirit, and Five of Pentacles in reverse as the likely outcome. So as we're starting here with the Five of Swords in reverse as the push from the universe, that is about finding compromise or resolution, kind of a reconciliation. So it seems like the Divine Feminine has been showing up in a different sort of energy. And I think probably after this period of, there's been so much heavy energy going on. And, this sense of the universe kind of giving that push or that encouragement of maybe to soften a little bit. You've kind of been standing in your, I would say, like in your power, and the Seven of Swords is kind of that energy of, you're going to do whatever it is that you want to do. And so the push here from the universe is, okay, let's soften that energy up a little bit. Let's not be quite so abrasive in terms of what it is that you're looking for, because how you're showing up in the soul space is this Justice card. So that's all about harmony and balance and equality. So that's really what you're going for. And you kind of have this Seven of Swords energy in the 3D, which is not necessarily in alignment with what you're feeling. So for those of you who watch Yellowstone, this is the Seven of Swords kind of reminds me of that Beth Dutton energy. And so that's how you're showing up. And it's kind of that sense of, the pendulum swings back and forth, and, you've been in a position where you've been giving and really pouring into the connection for so long. And then there's that sense of, why are we where we are right now? Like, no, I need to kind of harden up a little bit and push back. And the universe is saying, okay, but let's find a middle ground. You don't need to be quite so abrasive or quite so harsh. Let's find the middle ground, because that's really what you want in your soul space. That's what you want, is you want that reconciliation, you want that harmony, and it's just a matter of how do you go about getting it. And the universe is saying, to find some resolution and to find some compromise. So with your challenge being the Sun, that's that success and joy and happiness and abundance. And that's kind of a little bit of a challenge right now, because you're perceiving being not totally in step or in alignment with your Divine Masculine. So that's where some of the challenge is coming in, is how do you find that place of joy and optimism and harmony? Like, how do you find that where both of you can be happy? And advice from Spirit here is about, this Five of Cups in reverse is kind of that moving on, turning the corner and accepting, so if you've been overly trying to control a situation, this is about, okay, accept it and move on from that. And how do you build, like, forget what's gone on in the past. How do you build that and move forward? And your likely outcome here is overcoming adversity. So Five of Pentacles in reverse is about that forgiveness and that moving on. And so there's a lot of energy of, definitely getting that feeling of Divine Feminine is sensing or feeling like, wait a second, why has this been so unfair? Why has this been so, lopsided? And, you're kind of powering up and pushing back, but the universe is saying, okay, but let's soften a little bit. Let's find that compromise, find that resolution, and you will be in a much happier, more favorable space there. So that's the message from Spirit for the feminine. Let's see what's coming through on our divine masculine energy. And some of this too with divine feminine, there has been a lot of energy, an awful lot of heavy energies lately, with things like all these retrogrades going on, North Node pushing into Aries, which is really pushing you to be, kind of unapologetically you, be bold and all of that. And I think how you're showing up is maybe a little bit further than you normally would, but it's also likely because of the fact that you've been feeling like you've been giving more than you've been receiving. So it's kind of like you feel like the pendulum was over here and now it's like, all right, let's bring it back over here. And the universe is saying, you shouldn't be on either side. Let's work to be in the middle somewhere. So, all right, let's see what we have for our masculine. All right. Go. All right. Push from the universe is Page of Wands in reverse. How you're showing up is the Two of Pentacles in reverse. In your soul space is Temperance. Your challenge is Hermit. Advice from Spirit is Ace of Swords in reverse. And the likely outcome is Five of Pentacles in reverse. And look at that. Both of you, both Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, are getting Five of Pentacles in reverse as your likely outcome. So that's a very clear message from the universe. They're trying to bring you together. So this Page of Wands in reverse, the push from the universe, this is that kind of directionless, like dull, indecisive sort of energy. So you're really not showing up. The Divine Masculine is really just kind of like, don't really know what to do, not quite sure. And how you're showing up in the 3D. So that you have too many balls in the air. You're unorganized. It's just kind of like whatever voice is yelling the loudest in the room is the voice that's getting your attention. And so the problem with that is, short term, yes, that's fine. You can do that. Sometimes there's going to be emergencies. There's going to be fire drills that you have to go through. But lack of planning and letting everything just run and then kind of, I'll handle it as it comes up. That's not a long-term strategy. That's usually more of a coping mechanism. And how you're showing up in the soul space this is about finding there, you're seeing things from different sides and it's about balance and harmony, and you're kind of tempering your actions. So in the soul space, you're doing okay, but how you're showing up, Divine Masculine, in the 3D is not in alignment with how you are sitting in your soul space. And so your challenge with this Hermit card is you need to have some self-reflection, but that seems to be coming at the expense of, you're kind of unorganized, you don't really know what to do, so you're just not going to do anything and you're just going to kind of withdraw. But that's not really going to get you to where you want to go. So the push here, Ace of Swords is usually about starting new projects and having some clarity. And in reverse, it's like you're just creating more confusion for yourself. By not doing anything, you're creating more confusion for yourself. So the push from Spirit would be, how do you turn this around? How do you get that clarity? And so some of that is a matter of, yes, you need to have a level of introspection. You need to, kind of be reflecting and putting yourself in that better headspace to be able to get this balance. But, you need to move out of this place of just having your soul space be in balance to pushing that through to your 3D, because your 3D is not showing up that same way. Your 3D is this unorganized, kind of chaotic, hey, we'll see what'll happen. What'll be is what'll be. But if you can push this energy out into your 3D, so that it's not just all sitting there in your mind and in your soul, but actually in your actions, then yes, you're going to get this Five of Pentacles where you're overcoming adversity, you're moving on, and you're making a decision. But this is a lot of that energy of, divine masculine kind of sitting there like, don't really know what to do. There's so much going on. I'm just not going to deal with it. I'll deal with it later. But the problem is, if that's your coping mechanism all the time, you're not going to get to it because, there's always something that comes up. So make sure, if you're a divine masculine watching this, make sure that you're not allowing yourself to continue to show up in that energy where you have too many things going on, too many balls in the air, too much of this unorganized, kind of, squirrel energy. Let me go do this. Let me go do this. Like, you need to work on this introspection, get those ideas in mind. How is it that you're going to move this forwards? Because this is also about like the self-discovery journey, shedding a light on what is it that you really want. So that's your challenge, is to be sitting there and figuring out what it is that you want so that you can push that out into your everyday life. All right, let's take a look at what is happening here for the connection. All right, using my Alice in Wonderland deck. So the push from the universe for the connection, that's the King of Cups in reverse. How you're showing up is the Moon. How you're showing up in the soul space is Temperance in reverse. And then your challenge is Seven of Cups in reverse. Advice from universe is Judgment. And your likely outcome is Ace of Wands. So in terms of the push from the universe, this King of Cups in reverse this is a card about, like, when it shows up like that in reverse, is that manipulation and worrying and stressing out. So the push from the universe is saying, this is what's going on. There's too much stress within the connection. And how the connection is showing up right now is very murky. The Moon is usually kind of that subconscious. It's, what deception or what trickery is happening here. Because if you remember from in Alice in Wonderland, with this one where it's the walrus and the carpenter, and they're duping the oysters into following them so they can eat them. So this is how the connection is showing up right now, is there's kind of that sense of how it's manifesting is not necessarily how either party wants it to go, because how it's showing up in the soul space of the connection is there is some imbalance there, and there's some avoidance, like the connection is being avoided by one or both of the parties. So some of the energy within the connection is that it's not being given its full attention, and some of it is because there's some either manipulation, or, like I said, this is like the subconscious element of it. So maybe one of the parties is not really sure, don't know what to do, getting distracted, I'll deal with this later. And the challenge there with this Seven of Cups in reverse is that it's just confusion and distraction. And so, the message here is kind of this whole idea of, there's things that are coming in the way of the connection. There's distractions. There's, whether it's third party, like one of the parties is in a relationship, whether it's third party that, one, or in this case, could be both, has some other sort of, I'll call it devil energy, whether it's addictions, whether it's the person's a workaholic, whether it's, inability to settle down, So that's kind of what's happening, is there's things that are distracting the connection from coming fully online and coming into union. And, the advice from Spirit in terms of the Judgment is step up, like let the connection be judged. And Judgment is about like that awakening and renewal, and kind of this letting the divine step in and say, yes, this is what's happening. So like being judged favorably. So the divine wants this connection to come online. The universe wants this. This is what you incarnated here on this planet to do, is to strip away all of these distractions, all of these other ego issues and bring the connection online. So that's what the push is to let that happen. And when you do, there's going to be this new beginning. So the Ace of Wands is about excitement and new beginnings. And that's something, the Wands is kind of that spirit, the sense of spirit, and the Ace is the beginning. So if you're able within this connection, both parties kind of shifting energetically to allow the judgment to come through and allow these other distractions to strip away, stop stressing about it. So typically from the divine feminine perspective, one of the stresses is, oh my gosh, why aren't things moving forwards? Why this, why that? While the divine masculine is typically the one running, saying, oh, I can't focus on this right now. I have this, I have work, I have other obligations, I have all of this. So if both of those parties can abandon some of those thoughts and feelings and let the connection come online for judgment, it is going to birth that new energy for you. So that's what's going on. And some of these energies, they really do want to come through. Like I said, you incarnated here for a reason. And it's interesting when you think about life from the perspective of you're here to learn lessons. You decided in advance what lessons you were going to try to learn. And the people, the players along the way here are helping you to learn those lessons. So sometimes when you're really stuck in the 3D situations of, oh, well, this is so stressful, this job is so stressful, this family dynamic is so stressful, whatever, is thinking about it, that imagine that this life is a video game and you have different levels, and before you move to the next level, you have to beat the boss. And you're not the character in the video game. You're the person behind the controller. So your soul is the one looking down, watching your avatar interacting on this planet. And, if you can trust in spirit, trust in the divine, then, jumper card there, then, thinking about it from that perspective, what can I learn in this situation? What is it? What message is coming through for me? And then stick with that. It can help you kind of pull yourself out of some of the 3D madness. All right. So the two cards here, the jumper card was indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So if that's, regardless of which party that's for, divine masculine, divine feminine, if you're kind of stuck in that, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? I'm not really sure. Trust your intuition. And again, if you can step out of the day-to-day rat race and think about it bigger picture, that should help, seeing things from that perspective can hopefully help kind of bring you in line a little bit more with your intuition. And then freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. So I feel like these two kind of go together whenever I'm looking at these cards, especially when I feel like the color theme really goes together. Like I feel like these pull very strongly together, that if you can free yourself from this indecision, like using your intuition, it will help you get that sense of freedom. And, if you're looking at it, if you're able to pull back and look at life, as a video game, and that your physical body is an avatar, and, what are the lessons that you're supposed to be learning, it might be easier to see some of that happiness of, oh, okay, I'm not my situation. I'm really not. What lesson do I need to learn so that I can, beat this boss and move on to the next one? So we're going to pull one of these nature cards here. All right. Connect with your soul community. One of the things that's so important along this journey is connecting with your soul family. So, people talk about soulmates, and a lot of times they think about those as romantic connections. They can also be friendships, but your soul tribe, those are people that are at your same, kind of within that same vibrational frequency, and they can really help you. And these are people that have agreed to help you before this incarnation as well. And so being able to help them, or being able to connect with them, can help immensely. It can help you, it can help them. So certainly start to lean on those people. And as you raise your vibration, you will be drawing in more people that are like-minded as well. So, all right, let's pull up a card. This is from the romance deck. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. So this is something, this could be what is holding one of the partners, or, maybe both of the partners back, divine masculine, divine feminine. And whether this is your ex, like somebody that you broke up with a long time ago, if one of the parties is still thinking about them, this, I would also say, look at it as a third party energy. So if one of the parties is with somebody, but they've kind of already made up their mind, that I don't think this is my forever person, mentally, in their heart and in their soul, they're kind of already not with that person. So release that one. Release that. If that person is not still the person that you're in love with, and that's not the future that you see, as you're trying to get this connection to come online, you have to release all of those other things that are keeping you from having this connection come online. And so that's kind of that message. If the person watching this, if you're the one that needs to let go of that connection, then do it. Otherwise, if it's your twin that needs to do that, know that this is the energy that's coming through. So hopefully they're able to sit in that energy, and they'll be able to feel it. Usually the divine feminine is more intuitive of the twins, between the masculine and the feminine, and usually the feminine is the one watching this. But however you can maybe help, call on your divine masculine's higher self to be able to help with that energy, with that release, so that way both partners, or both parts of the soul, you can live your soul journey, you can live your mission, and do what you're here to do. So I hope you found today's reading helpful. I also, last weekend, I did post videos for each of the individual zodiacs, so make sure to check those out. And in the meantime, I will be doing readings every morning as well. I'll be pulling the individual zodiac cards, so make sure to check those out and hit the notifications so that you can get alerted when those post. Until next time, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Bye-bye.